Hello everyone, it's me, Aaron, Professor ThorgE3, your guide to all things geeky, and welcome back to our continuous coverage of E3. And I already made a video talking all about the Sony press conference and all the amazing things that were announced in there. However, there was one thing that they announced there that was so special to me, I had to make a video just for it. I'm talking, of course, about Resident Evil 7. Now, I love the Resident Evil franchise. I do. I love horror games, and that to me has remained one of the best horror franchises out there. And I have even gotten into the lore, and I've even grown attached to these dumbass characters. I don't care how bad the dialogue is. I've still grown to love them. And with Resident Evil 4, that game to me was like, this is it. This is the peak. You can't do better than this. This is amazing. I love that game. That, to me, to this day, remains one of my favorite video games of all time. And then Resident Evil 5 came out, and a lot of people say, oh, Resident Evil 5 is terrible. It's not. It's not terrible. Just not a good Resident Evil game. It's a great action game, not a good Resident Evil game. So after Resident Evil 5, I was like, you know what, they can still make good games, but they're kind of losing their way. They're kind of moving more in the direction of the movies, which have absolutely nothing at all to do with the video game, and don't capture the tone of the video games at all. And a lot of the side games that were coming out were doing the same. They were moving away from the tone of those games and what worked for them. And then Resident Evil 6 was announced. I saw the trailer for that and I was like, this looks amazing. This looks like it's going to take every single thing that works in all the Resident Evil games, put them all into one game. If you like the action stuff, you can go with Chris's campaign, but if you like the horror stuff, then you can go with Leon's campaign. It looks like it's going to give us everything. And then I played it and I was like, it's done. It's over with. Resident Evil has gone too far into the weird and goofy action genre. Resident Evil 6 was as close to what I love about Resident Evil as Fast and the Furious is to what I love about Resident Evil. It was one of those games that made me go, oh, it's put a nail in this coffin. This thing is done. Resident Evil is not coming back. You can't recover from this game. And then I was watching this trailer and I was like, ooh, survival horror. Oh man. Oh, it's getting good and creepy, really tense. I don't know what's happening. Oh, this set looks amazing. I am on the edge of my seat. What game could this possibly be? And then you see that 7 come up and I was like, 7? Is this like, are they making a video game based on the movie 7? That seems like a weird thing to do, but you know, they've made them about other movies that shouldn't be video games before, so why not? And then that 7 turned into evil, and I lost my mind. Like, it's the only trailer from all of E3 that made me audibly go, oh damn! Like, literally, like, just shout out loud how excited I was about this. It's literally like over the course of the last couple of games, the Resident Evil people have been going, I don't know what people want. Well, they kind of like this thing in the movies. Let's just go with that. Or they kind of like this one thing from Resident Evil 4. Let's just lean further into that. Let's lean further into the action that we put into that game. And it's like they just didn't know what we wanted. And then they saw the negative reaction to Resident Evil 6. And they're just like, what do you want from us, people? And then the PT demo came out and they went, oh! That's what you want? Well, why didn't you say so? Because this totally had that vibe of PT. And honestly, I could come in here and go, oh, well, they're not being original and they're just trying to rip off this better thing. But it's like, in all honesty, someone needs to make PT come to life. And I was watching this and I was like, yeah, okay, they're doing it. You know what? You just want to hand that over to Resident Evil? Go for it. I mean, I mentioned that Hideo Kojima and Norman Reedus are making another game for Sony. And it was like, it looked like a lot of things that they were going to put in that Silent Hills game was going to come back and be in his game, but it didn't look like the horror element was going to be there. I watched this Resident Evil 7 trailer and I was like, oh, that's where that horror element went. Okay, works for me. And what excited me the most is that if you have a PlayStation Plus account, you can play the demo for it right now. I have a PlayStation Plus account. So I went and I played through this demo, and one thing that did concern me about that trailer is that it looked like, okay, you're just going to be trapped in a house with crazy hillbillies. And I talk a lot about how there are too many games with zombies out there. Crazy hillbillies are becoming the next zombie. Like, that's becoming the next thing that I'm starting to notice. Oh, there's a lot of horror games that just focus on that. Like, there are at least 2 other games coming out later this year that focus on exactly that. And I'm like, okay, I don't need this in Resident Evil, but you can make good and creepy. I'll be alright with it. But I played through the demo, and as you're going through the demo, it made me go, oh shoot, yeah, okay, there's the crazy hillbilly guys. But there's also like elements of a ghost thing going on here, and then you see some other stuff and it's like, okay, that's not exactly a ghost, that could be something else. And my one big concern was listen, if you're going to call this Resident Evil 7, you do need to somehow capture the tone of it, and the tone of Resident Evil 7 wasn't just survival horror. I mean, that was like 90% of it, but there's also that little dash of like mutants. I don't necessarily mean mutants, but you know, like some kind of a weird creation. Not just a hillbilly walking around, not just ghosts, but some kind of a freakish monster. You need that little element in there as well. And there came a moment, by the way, getting into minor spoilers for anybody who hasn't played the demo, but there comes a moment in which you find a guy who you came to this haunted house with, and he's just standing there against the wall, and I was like, oh gosh, the Blair Witch Simulator. And I go up to him, tap him on the shoulder, turns around, his eyes are totally red, and he's got like blood all over his face, but the blood is almost like moving like veins almost. And in that little trailer that we saw, you do see like little veins start popping up and like almost like a fungus start to grow in black and white. I was like, okay, so some kind of a virus thing might be in this. All right, there you go. That's the one link that you need to tie this to Resident Evil. I'm good now. Even if this is a complete reboot and you say that this exists in a totally different world from those other Resident Evil games, you gave me that one little thing that I need to be able to say, this is not just a regular survival horror game, it's a Resident Evil game. But there you go, those were my thoughts on this demo. I should also point out that it was scary. That is the most important thing about a Resident Evil game, and this did make me jump, it did freak me out. In fact, if you want to see how much it freaked me out, I have a Let's Play channel, although I will admit, I haven't done anything with it for a while. When I created it, I was like, yeah, I can totally handle 2 channels at once. I can't handle 2 channels at once. That is a lot to do. So I haven't really done anything with it in almost a year, but I decided, you know what, this is so special, I'm gonna dust that channel off. We're gonna record this, I'm gonna put a video up there, so I put my playthrough of it up there, so if you wanna hear me freaking out as I play this, then go ahead, click right there. It will take you to my Gamers In Let's Play channel and to the video of me playing through this. And if you guys wanna see some other E3 stuff from me, then make sure that you hit that subscribe button, because we're gonna be doing E3 stuff all week long, and we've already done about 3 other videos, so if you wanna see those, then make sure that you click right there. That'll take you to the entire list of all the videos that we've done about E3 this year. But for now, I thank you guys for watching this video. Come back next time. Bye.
Although, this would make a great backdrop. Andre, what do you think? Andre?
What the
Andre?
fuck? He was
Andre?
right here.
Clancy, you see where Andre went?
So my name is Clancy.
As in Tom Clancy?
Where is he?
Yeah, this is the new Splinter Cell game.
This is the
I
last
knew
time
it.
I worked with that guy.